Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Dragon's Tome. We're here. We're going to do another one.
That was a pregnant pause.
Mm.
Pause.
Pre-pause can still get you pregnant.
Baby came out.
We're doing Dragon Magazine in chronological order. We started at 1. We're going to go until our legs give out from underneath us and our hearts stop.
It's
And
true.
our heads hit sinks.
Yes,
That's
we are
true.
doing 164 Dragon Magazine. We've been doing this quite a while, and when I saw this cover, said we've done this one before, and
Mm.
I looked. I thought I had to refresh the file that we have it in, and I was like, "There's something going on." And then it dawned on me when I saw the comics that I must have owned this one.
I own this one, so
Yeah.
maybe you read my copy.
It's not the first Asian cover we looked at.
I definitely remember having this one.
Was it an Asian gang? Maybe that's it, because none of the articles, were familiar to me, but the cover and the
cartoons.
comics were. So that
It might have been
explains.
just what you happened to browse at the time.
Maybe I was browsing yours. Okay, so Rob, do you want to tell us who did the cover? You're always the one who does the.
Yeah, it's Jim Holloway, and he called it
I was gonna say,
Teenage Swamp Dwelling Ninja Zombies because it is 1990, so it's
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
TMNT is hot. So
made famous by Anthrax.
the powder.
No, the Scott Ian used to have the Ninja Turtles on his
Time?
guitars.
Yeah,
Scott Ian.
Mm-hmm.
Anthrax.
Okay. Well, what do you boys think of the cover?
It's a
I
fun
like
one.
it.
It's
I
like
will say that Jim Holloway said he made everything to date, right? Correct to the time period. Correct to the time period. That's what I wanted to say.
Mm.
The clothes and even the eye patch. He said it says in the blurb.
well, I think he looks like Wolverine. So
Well, the eye patch looks very unwieldy, so let's just say that too.
I was like, why is Wolverine killing this zombie?
Yeah,
It does look like a multiverse Wolverine that is just going to be plucked.
what was his name in the when he was in Japan? He didn't
Patch.
look away. Look, Patch. That's right, Patch.
Okay.
A little on the
Well,
nose.
you add a gray Hulk back there, and you get yourself a story.
And
Okay.
there's Cyclops back there.
So, you guys want to get started? We want to.
Sure.
Oh, we're gonna start recording now. Oh, okay.
Oops.
Yes. So everyone, do your voice warm ups. Me, my Momo, my Momo. Pat, you know that's the voice warm up you do.
Diggity, diggity.
Anyways,
Anyways, who wants to start? It's custom that we do 2 articles and 1 ad each. So I hope you both came prepared.
yeah, I did.
Yes, I'm over prepared.
Okay, well that sounds like a challenge. Young Patrick, why don't you saddle up and ride?
All right, let's start on page 16.
16.
Yeah, this is one of mine.
Sensei never taught you.
The second in the exact same articles.
Yes, so this is all for the first edition Oriental Adventures campaign. Basically, it's a way to flesh out your martial arts styles in Orient Adventures. He gives you a step-by-step how to do it. Like, he tells you should start by visualizing what your style should look like or would look like, not should. Then decide what social class you're in, because he was surmising that martial arts styles for the peasants weren't the same as martial arts styles for the nobility. Then after you decide if you want rich or poor karate or kung fu, you're gonna decide the background what restrictions the background, your setting background, is going to put on the availability of teachers for your said martial arts style. And then there's a list of proficiencies that he, mechanical proficiencies that he lists that he suggests adding to your proficiency to kind of help train you. Like some examples were like weaving pottery, and then my example was the wax on, wax off technique.
Yeah, it's definitely where he's getting that from.
Yeah, I think so. But Karate Kid has been a while, but been out a while now. So, but that's definitely kind of the direction I think he was taking with that.
No, Jaden Smith shouldn't even have been born yet.
Oh my God!
What are you talking about?
The moment I saw Jack's face, I saw that coming.
The Karate Kid who was fighting in Kung Fu.
I thought it was what's the girl? It's Hilary Swank. Was that who the girl Karate Kid?
Oh, that might have been the Karate Kid 4 at that point. This time.
Hilary Swank was the
she was Karate Kid 4. And then you choose the name of your style, and then you end with some special maneuvers you can add. Though he does caution using these special maneuvers because they can really overbalance the game sometimes. But in the long and short of it is, it's really fairly intuitive and stuff. So if you really want to make your own style up for D&D, this is the way to do it.
I can't remember which edition of Oriental Adventures I have, because I felt like this is in the game. Like I felt like most of this, maybe not the specifics, but how you make your style and make it very visual is actually in the game. Maybe I have second edition where it actually says that, but
probably because it's very clear in the beginning. He said this is for first edition.
Yeah, so it might already be in second.
We did not use Oriental Adventures a lot, even especially in second edition. So I don't have a lot of background. With this book.
Yeah, I'm not even sure.
Yeah, I think that the point of the article is in first edition they feel like flat or uninspired, and this is to juice it up. But
or they're fairly generic. Maybe I get the feeling that the
what it is in the system, if you want to play it like it just gives you like a list of abilities and you kind of pick and choose. And if you don't put them together, it's just a bunch of moves you do. But you have to explain how those moves work and what you're looking like, and to make it interesting. Otherwise, it's just a list.
Basically, giving you a list of background or a
try to flesh out your maneuvers. Yeah. That's the difference between this and the last the article right before this, the flying feet and lightning hands. Is that that one's just a list of special maneuvers. This actually tells you how to use them and make it more interesting. That's why I thought this article was better.
And I kind of just kind of blew right past it because it's just a list of stuff.
This one's it has that list, but it tells you how to use it and how to make it interesting, which I thought was a better. Yeah. So Rudy Thomberger,
thumbs up.
Thauberger, good job. Yep, there you go.
Okay, so that's Pat. You're 1 for 1. Let's see if Rob can follow that up. Let's not disappoint Rob. Let's bring your A game.
I'll try. Let's do the editorial then. Page 8. Editorial by good old Roger E. Moore. It's pretty much he wants to figure out why people play certain characters, why everybody's drawn to certain characters. So he has ideas that's either the challenge, play type, or humor, or to play something you're not. But mostly he just talks about all different characters he plays and how people accuse people of playing evil characters. You must be evil. It's like, well, no. Sometimes you just want to play something different. And in the end, it's all just allowing you to play it a fantasy. So whatever character you choose, you might have psychological reasons for choosing that, but it's rarely cut and dry. Like he says, there's many different reasons why someone actually plays a certain character. And I am drawn to paladins because I'm a good person. So that's why I think I'm drawn to paladins.
You're drawn to paladins in the same way that I am drawn to thieves because they
you're
are
a thief.
small and nimble and unseen. It has nothing to do with the fact that I'm a giant barn animal that most people can't tolerate being around. So, yes, it's because you're noble.
Well, see, everybody has different reasons. I'm noble, and I play paladins, and you want to play opposite. Pat, what's your go-to character class?
My go-to is I like to fill the holes in the party.
See, you're a people pleaser, Pat.
but for that, but
Phrasing.
let me finish.
Phrasing.
I like to fill the holes in the party.
You've
Yeah.
said that twice now.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I like to
Everyone
fill
at
those
home, get your
holes.
bingo cards out. Pat
Again,
has made
holes. I
a
love
double
to fill them.
entendre.
I don't think there's a double entendre there. It's a
But
single
that being
entendre.
said, that usually ends up with me
He
being
directly
a
said he
cleric.
wants it. Clerics, yeah.
That usually ends up me being the cleric.
Well, it's because nobody else plays clerics, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So it is an interesting little article about why people play things and how people just assume, oh, this person's must be shifty because he plays a thief, and I say yes, Jack is shifty because he plays a thief. But yeah, fun little editorial by Roger E. Moore.
Excellent, excellent. So I suppose that makes it my turn.
Yay.
So if we could go to page 20, please.
2-0. Bonds of Brotherhood. Speaking
and
of
I saw
clerics.
This. I read this and I was like, this is right up. This is going to be Jack.
Written by Tom Griffith, who
Oh yeah,
obviously is
not dead.
eating his brunch with sweet baby Jesus every day up in. Although I went by his tomb and the rock was moved out of the way. I don't know if
What?
It's a miracle.
That's crazy.
I
That's
don't know.
sacrilegious.
Well, your acting is like when I said Tom Griffith, I thought I was going to get like never heard of him. But the two,
That was
do
for
you know
me.
something?
No, I really haven't heard him because my memory is big. You're like, Tom Griffith. I'm like, why do these people know who this is?
You know who he is.
I met
Okay.
Steve Jackson and forgot. You think I remember who Tom Griffith is?
Okay. I was just trying to angle for a friend of the pod, Tom Griffith, but you can't even get like associate of the pod. I apologize.
Friend, a short time listener, long time.
who are you
Yes.
guys?
Okay, so sorry, Tom.
Don't take that as a slight. I really don't remember anybody.
We are glad that you are alive, though.
Well, he was at last message. we need a
Yes.
paper with his picture and him pointing at the current date. To
That's
make sure.
true.
Oh,
We still need
yeah.
a confirmation of life. Then we have to rename the skating rink, and I have to get reimbursed for the corsage I sent the widow. Anyways, enough of this horsing around. Why is it that my episodes go so long?
Yeah.
What we're doing here is bonds of brotherhood, and it's giving your monks a brotherhood. So Tom starts with what his like the inspiration for the article, and which I think most articles should, because you know exactly what angle he's coming from. What his inspirations were like some of the same inspirations we were having, television and movies. And then he says that how that can be adapted into the D&D game, and why it should, which I think, just like making the martial art your own and giving it some zazz, it's world building. It gives it feels lived in, and so I think everyone could agree with that. Then he follows up with a couple of orders that he's made for his, like for examples. But he does give at the beginning of each one kind of a story like a Dr. Ed Greenwood would.
Yeah.
It's
I thought some of those stories were pretty cool.
and A, worth reading, and B, sets the tone for each of the different brotherhoods, like the Brotherhood of the Black Lotus. The name does a lot of heavy lifting, but it kind of gives a little flavor.
I'm sure they're like the friendly healing types, right?
Exactly. And then, yeah, and it is basically a primer on how to populate a monk's order in your world, but also if you want a whole cloth, just lift it and plagiarize his work. I'm sure he wouldn't lose any sleep. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to speak for him.
But yeah, it's neat to give examples, and because a lot of people don't want to do the heavy lifting, so he does it for you. So if you just want to use what he's put up there, it works great.
Yeah, I do like when some of the authors of these articles, when they give you a nice example that you can use if you don't want to do the heavy lifting.
Yeah, or show how their system works too. Like a lot of times you could say like, "Hey, this is how it works," and then you're like, "I don't really see it." But once they write it out and like, "Okay, this is how it applies," you're like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense."
Yeah.
Good
yeah.
job, Tom. Whoever
Good
you
job,
may be.
Tom. And he included a bibliography just in case you were wondering where.
R.I.P.
This that's definitely like this kind of article. It's like a step above like the regular articles I find when there actually has bibliographies and like it's it's not just half a page, which we love the half page ones, but that's just full information. This is actually a well written article, so we're not just being nice. It's true.
Yeah,
and great pictures. I love these pictures.
I do like the bibliography. It shows that you put some time and effort into it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he has a some kind of scholarly background. If you have
if he has an Encyclopedia Britannica set that no one has anymore.
And I wouldn't be surprised if I mentioned Tom's name in next week's episode, and Rob goes, "Who? Ooh, I don't know, Tim Graham."
Yeah. Tim Graham.
I was going to make fun of. Is Tom Griffith? Is he? Did he play for the Dodgers? I think he did, didn't he?
He played for the Montreal Alouettes.
No, the Expos. Wrong sport.
Okay, well then, that was my first article. What's next, Patrick? You got something else to?
Pat, what's your first article?
My first article is on page 29.
I love Jack's face.
Born to Defend, the Piao Shi. It's a new character class for Oriental AD&D campaigns. These are basically caravan guards. Basically hired mercenaries just to caravan, and it goes to the list. The thing, I wasn't at first as sure if this was for first or second rules, but it seems like this is laid out for second edition Oriental Adventures. Basically, on a whole, the Piaoshi are a class that looks like a Bushi and a monk character classes combined. They do because they prefer attacking with darts. They get a huge bonus for attacking with darts. They can track like rangers, and they can fight barehanded like monks of equal level. So there's just like this crazy amount of things they can do. They can climb walls like thieves, and they get a whole bunch of these tactical and special strategic specialties that are listed in the article. Like they get a bonus to defending a room if they've been in the room for more than an hour.
They know where all the best spots to fight from.
Yeah. So they can fight on horses because they are caravan guarding. And they get more and more of these specialties as they get higher in level. As you look at the advancement table, you get one at 4th level, and then you get all these special other abilities. And then you, just like anything else, you level up, you get to train someone, and you get to train a team, and you can have your own unit to having your own mercenary / caravan escort company. On my first perusal of this thing, I thought they were fairly kind of tough. I don't know how tough they were because I've never played them, but just on paper they look pretty rough because they get so many different
too many abilities.
Yeah.
I guess it's to make up for the idea that you're just guarding caravans, so it's boring as hell. Might as well give them all these abilities.
I mean, but I guess in history, these were the guys. Was their bread and butter. This was what they train to do. But the fact that they get all these other bonuses, like they can track as rangers, they can climb walls as thieves, they can bare hand fight like monks at the same level as them.
It's so funny that they're like masters of darts. That's such a weird thing.
Well, you brought something up. In my mind, I was either didn't have a frame of reference for something that was historical, or I didn't understand what inspiration there was, like if it was in literature or something like that. Like it didn't. There was. I didn't know what if it was a reference, direct reference to something that I just didn't get because it didn't.
It's historical, it seems. So
Yeah, but it didn't mesh in a way that.
yeah, it's such a weird thing that only in history could make up such a weird thing. Because if you put this in a story,
right.
you'd be like, "That's weird."
What is that road? Was it
Silk
called
Road?
The Merchants Road? The Silk Road. A lot of caravans on that.
Yeah,
So it makes sense to me in that sense.
Yeah, but you picture those kind of guys with like, pikes or something, or
Yeah,
or being
but
on
that's
horses.
why I think on paper they're overpowered because they get this base defense for rooms or even outdoor settings. But uh, it's kind of nuts.
It's
Some
the
of it's
dart.
kind of nuts.
For me, it's the dart throwing. It's just so weird.
Yeah,
What do combat darts look like? Do they look like darts we use for dartboards, or they look
They're heavy
different?
darts, so I would assume they look like those.
Or like lawn darts?
like lawn darts.
They look like
Just whip 'em up in the
basically
air.
would look like they would look like a spearhead without a pole.
Yeah, so weird.
like a pilum or a
Which is funny because while we were talking Oriental Adventures and darts, in passing, remember that movie Ninja Assassin that was horrible and it was 3D.
no.
Okay, well they had these ninja assassins and they were going up against a SWAT team, and they were throwing the shurikens, and they were come flying like they were launched out of a 105 cannon, and they were cutting through the SWAT team in their their Kevlar. It was like, and there was at least maybe there was like 6 ninja guys, but there was like 400,000 shurikens flying out of the dark.
It's like a machine gun shooting shurikens.
Yeah, so when I was reading this and saw the darts thing, and that was flashing through my head was just these darts flying like they came out of a 105 cannon, like a Sherman launched a bunch of darts.
Like a scene from 300 where they just it's just
The arrows here.
Yes, the arrows, but but yeah, I'd be interested if anyone had played this character. Is it as overpowering as I think it is, or am I just being crazy?
we'll never know.
Comment below.
Okay.
No. Maybe our friend, our author, Mr. Joseph Rabbits. If he's alive. I mean, chances are he's not.
Canonically, he's not.
Canonically, he's not. But if he happens to, let us know.
Canonically,
Your process of thinking on how you put this thing together.
canonically, he is dead, but now we do have confirmation that someone could, like water off a duck's back, shrug off the
Mortal
the
coil.
turtle slumber,
Yeah.
and then come back. So maybe,
He's made a deal with Hades to come back. You never know.
maybe. Okay, then Rob, what's your second article?
My first article is on page 82.
Hey, that was one of mine.
What has he got in those pocketses anyway?
That's
And-
mine too. So your ruse that that you're only doing one article so far, you're actually doing 2.
I'm doing 3. I'm doing all of yours. This is Ed Greenwood, of course. He's back to write some stuff. He must be taking a break from his Forgotten Realms stuff.
Dr. Greenwood, long-time listener, long-time friend of the show.
Yep, this is pretty much just a bunch of treasure plot hooks for thieving and looting. And it's a bunch of fun things that he usually does. He just thinks of crazy things off the top of his head. And this is, I think it's 20 things.
One of these things, I think this might have came about from him, where like he just didn't have anything planned, and this is what I need. Okay, I need something.
Yeah, but each one is so detailed. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
No, this isn't.
this could be off the cuff with him, but for normal people, it isn't.
No. The last one, I know it's what you would steal off of someone, a thief would steal. The last one is the size of a human head, and I'm like, okay, well, Ed, you're an imaginative man. Your creativity.
Where'd they
knows
hide
no
that
bounds.
head? My favorite
Yeah.
one, there's a magic ring that's thought to be named after a wizard, but it's actually named after a demon who just happens to have the same name.
yes, that was the one I liked.
I was like, that's pretty funny.
diabolical.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of fun little things. Most of them serious, but some little jokes in there. But
Yeah, a little bit of whimsy.
Anything else you guys have to say about this? That I really just thought it was fun.
Mean, I think it's a good tool. If you, I mean, I think this can even be used today.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you just
If
modify the stats and stuff, but
Yeah,
My only two complaints is there's no chart, easy reference chart you can just roll on.
yeah, you have to
And
look through
they
actual.
don't format it properly. So if you are, and he fills it with stats of like the one you summon a thief, and so you've got numbers everywhere. So if you want to look and see where it doesn't even break, there's not even a paragraph break to like between them. So he just says, get yourself a D20, roll it, and it's out down there, and you start.
It might have been a formatting thing because this fits exactly on 2 pages or 3 pages with the picture.
yeah.
It might have been hey, this fits exactly where we need it in this magazine. Let's just put it in
and
there.
it is a 3-column article. You don't normally do 3-column articles.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. Maybe the paragraph that'd be 20 spaces there, and they're like, well, we don't get the thief doing this. And Ed looked up and went, I need the thief. Okay, sir. Okay.
You win.
You win.
Yeah. Fun times. So that was my article.
Okay, so that's it for articles.
What's your? Don't you have another article?
Excellent. You just did mine.
Pat, what's your second article there?
My second article then is
That'd be
is
funny
on
if you don't
page
actually have any.
61.
Subverting.
Arcane.
Pages from the Mages, baby.
Oh, it's Ed Greenwood
6
again.
by Dr. Greenwood. Arcane Lore. Dr. Greenwood has come back with new legendary magic tomes from Elminster. But these are mostly necromantic and with 2 clerical druidic books. As you've done in the past, these arcane tomes are really cool, and they come with some really nice spells and a nice little background if you want to include it as a campaign search. But the Glandar's Grimoire's got a nice little story to it, and it's basically a burnt spell book that only a couple pages remain from it, and it's just held together by the cover, which is a black dragon scale or black dragon hide stretched over slate. In it, I think it has the Fellblade. Something, yeah, it has the Fellblade, which is a blade-shaped bar of force, and passes into nothing, and it just if it hits you, you become feeble-minded or unconscious.
Nice.
So it's pretty cool. I dig it.
Imagine being dumb enough to touch something that would make you feeble-minded and unconscious.
Well, it's the spell, the blade. It's like a magic. What is it? That spell that the wizards can cast? It's like a sword that just kind of hovers in front of them. I'm asking the guys who don't play Magic.
Yeah.
I just realized how ridiculous that was.
I got hit by a feeble-minded spell.
So I hit you guys both with the Fellblade. So please take 2d4 hit points worth of damage.
That's a weird amount of damage.
Yeah. But yeah, some just more tunes to add. This is number 6 from Dr. Greenwood.
He's got a lot.
So there's just a ton. I mean, I feel like the Forgotten Realms is overrun with legendary magic tomes now.
Someone could make a tome of tomes.
It's yeah. To me, the Forgotten Realms is just littered with magical items. You couldn't shake a stick and not hit 2-3 of them. Yeah. Okay, so that should be
on page 106. We're going to
subverted.
Rob, this is your second article now, Rob, right?
No, this is my first. This is only my first article.
Reached the breaking point. There couldn't possibly be another.
But we have to talk about this because it's Mr. Robert Bigelow through the Looking Glass is bemoaning the loss of lead miniatures, and I guess there's a new legislation coming through that lead miniatures are not going to exist anymore. And he complains that plastics and resin don't have the detail, and that pewter is too expensive. And my question is, well, he doesn't know about white metal, and white metal came around just not that long before this, and that's what obviously everything goes to after lead goes away. So he's bemoaning all this stuff, but there it is. Don't worry, there's still going to be metal miniatures today.
It's been metal, but the argument goes the other way around now. Then, right? They say that the lead or the pewter miniatures aren't as detailed as the resin or plastic.
No, because people don't use molds anymore really to make miniatures. They use 3D printing or other various ways to do it.
Or the plastic molds became sharper and better.
Yeah. They're very expensive, but they're much sharper.
Yeah.
I think once there was a
the plastic molds don't last as long as the metal spinner molds.
No, well, not the plastic molds last forever though. The metal ones, the ones they have the Chinese companies or whatever. It's the resin ones don't last very long. Resin molds don't last very long. Yeah, but I just thought it was funny how people will fight to be allowed to be poisoned. Like he's so angry that lead's going away, and it's like you do realize like it's literally killing people. I can't have my miniatures taken away.
I can
talk
understand.
To your senators.
I remember when they switched from metal miniatures to plastic, and the metal miniatures, the sculpts weren't great, but I think that was because it was the early days of miniatures. But I do remember there was a point where like the quality wasn't great, but now it's like
I will say that the first plastic miniatures I have were the HeroQuest ones, and I thought those miniatures look really good.
My first plastic miniatures were the Plastech from BattleTech, and they were terrible. So they were like mush.
Yeah, but you go from the Ralpartha Grenadier medals, and then you get the HeroQuest, which basically are Citadel miniatures.
GW.
Yeah.
But like Jack said, there was a tipping point between where it went from one way to the other. But in the middle, there was white metal.
That's the term I should have used rather than tipping my hands back and forth and mumbling about things like an old doddering fool. Yes, there was a tipping point of quality, and now we've reached the point where you would buy a miniature that's made of resin or plastic, and it far exceeds what used to be metal. In fact, metal now is you have to pin it, and the glue doesn't work, and it chips easy. And
Infinity still does all their miniatures in metal now, and I think they're slowly changing now. I think with their box games, they're doing plastic, but there's a lot of issues.
Well, then there's Ironwind still does the metal.
Well, of course, yeah. But they're just Ralpartha. They're just reselling old Ralpartha stuff. They're not. They are innovating. They are making new miniatures, but it's not like they're not a separate company. Let's just say they're just doing something that already existed, kind of.
Yeah.
I have a few quick hits if we want to just hit these real quick. Jack mentioned.
I don't. We've already.
No, but this is something you mentioned, Jack, so I had to mention it. 96 is Dragon Mirth. Because this one hits a little too close to home. It's the whipmaster on the boat, and he says, "Stop your whining. You guys get paid $200 a month to get workouts like this." And I just felt like that hit a little too close to home for me. And a little tear came down my cheek, and I said, "Yeah, more things change, the more they stay the same." And then my last one is on page 88, because this is a pop culture reference. Is that the adventure called Vecna Lives is coming out, which is the first time Vecna is in personage form is coming to AD&D, and it's obviously, if you've ever watched Stranger Things, Vecna's a major character.
89, not 88.
Oh yes, it's 89. 88's where it starts, but 89 is so in January Vecna Lives is coming out. So the Vecna from Stranger Things, this is where he's from. Vecna.
I don't know why I didn't realize that this was set in Greyhawk, too.
I never even noticed. But, Vecna's been mentioned before. Like, I think there's a Hand of Vecna and Eye of Vecna and things like that. But this is the actual first time the characters get to fight Vecna himself. So, if you're a Stranger Things fan, this is the game. This is the module you want to buy. So, Jack, are you going to take control of this, or do I have to keep going?
See what I have to work with, people.
Guess what, Jack? Guess how many ads I have?
Better be one.
I got one ad, and I had to scratch to find this ad. It's not very good.
Yeah, there was a few ads that this was not ad heavy. Well, when I say not ad heavy, there was not an ad that was that wasn't already in previous
Yeah,
issues.
there's not much advice in this.
Well, let's see if we all have the same one, and then we can get this
I
the
doubt
show done, and we can get back to doing whatever we wanted to do. Okay, I think Rob ran the table for quite some time, but I
My
fear
throat hurts. I don't think I want to talk anymore.
Whoa.
now he's decided that.
Now he doesn't want to talk.
Now, not after discussing Stranger Things, the show that hasn't been watchable for at least 10 years. Okay, Pat, what's your
My first one,
Oh, he's got more
page
than one.
2.
I remember this ad because I had this
Destiny of the
magazine.
Emperor. Well, the reason why I mentioned this ad, and maybe because I didn't read it if it was in another magazine, but this is actually a game I've never played, and I just realized it is an ad for an NES ad, a Nintendo Entertainment System game.
Oh yeah, yeah. Is this the first NES ad we've had? I wonder.
Yeah, so I think this might be the first NES ad. So that's why I bring it up the point. Now we got from
Capcom.
computers. Now we're going to consoles.
Yep. You feel Death's icy grip reaching towards
Yeah.
TSR as we speak.
Yeah.
definitely SSI is looking wistfully
Askance, yeah.
SSI is still top of the mountain right now, but they're going to come tumbling down fairly soon.
Yeah. Nintendo is coming to destroy all things that are fun.
Yeah.
Action figures, role-playing games.
And once I realized this
computer
was Nintendo, I
games.
started looking at I zoomed in a little bit, but this thing almost just reminiscently looks like a Zelda role-playing
Yeah.
game, but set in China.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like you have 4 characters who just follow each other in like a little line, and you
Almost
walk
like
around
a
the world
Final
with the flag.
Fantasy. Even.
Yep.
Final Fantasy 1. Very strong vibes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if it was based on some Japanese game that they just brought over. If you know,
I wouldn't doubt
know.
if they ported something.
Yeah. So,
I mean, they port their cartoons over that way, so why not video games?
That's true. Okay, I feel like if I don't go next, Rob's gonna.
I can't. If you have the same one as me, I'd be very surprised, but we'll see.
Okay, then Rob, let's.
No,
let's see.
you go first. You go first.
No, I'm in charge.
Okay, we're going to page 112. Is that yours, Jack? What, is that yours?
That was mine.
Was it?
Yeah.
I had nothing to talk about in these things. All these are is the way for TSR to try to make more money by making comic modules. They're like comic books that are actually modules, and obviously they're all of their licenses here. One of them is Buck Rogers and it's written by Flint Dille, who is the grandson of the original owner of the thing. So a lot of this is a good old money grab. But there's a lot of famous comic book writers here, like Roy Thomas and Marv Wolfman.
I was just going to say, I saw Roy Thomas's name on there.
So, Jack, what did you have to say about this? I just wanted to point it out.
I have to say, if you look at the header, it says "New Heroes for a New Decade," and that is a bold statement for a Buck Rogers.
And like some kind of like pulp hero, and like it's not the and a the Warhawks looks like it's a western, or like
It's it is very much a. I would call that a throwback for a new decade, maybe a reintroduction to Indiana Jones-esque adventures. And
hey, Mike W. Barr writes one. That's the Crow creator.
But I don't remember seeing any of them. I don't know exactly what a comic module is, and I don't know if they went on for very long. But
I don't remember seeing these at all at the game store.
I'm curious if this is it.
because it says 40 pages, full color, for $3.
Yeah.
Which was probably expensive at the time. I think comic books at the time were probably like 90 cents or something.
Well,
I think I was getting.
I think they were 75 in the 90s.
It could have been, yeah.
I'm guessing it was $1.20 when I was
Max,
collecting
yeah.
comic books. So like, and I don't know what a comic module is, but
I don't know either. Anyone who's ever had one of these, let us know exactly how that format worked out.
Yeah.
I'd be curious.
I've only remember seeing the ads. I've never seen it in person, so. But that's funny how we the same one. Pat, do you have another ad?
One real quick one. It's not even that big of a deal. Page 115.
Hey,
Priest
he's a
and Wizard
wizard.
books coming out.
Yeah.
Another handbook. So what do we have? We have fighters,
Thieves, priests, wizards.
wizards.
I think that's it right now. Oh, I think
Yeah.
is there any blue ones out yet? I don't think so.
No, I don't think the blue ones are out yet. The blue ones come out after these red ones.
How dare you? Okay, everyone, get back in the comments. Pat covered the blue ones that came out twice, and I
did.
lost my fool mind. And now they're saying none yet come out. Now all of a sudden none exist. They existed twice over before, but now they've never heard of them.
Jack, I don't think Jack. I think you live in a different world, a different reality where these things happen.
Castles.
It might have been the arms. It was arms.
It might have happened. Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know.
I
don't
own.
remember.
I actually own arms and equipment.
Rob,
but...
you don't remember.
No.
Rob, gun to your head. Who was it that I had picked out?
No.
What was his name? I mentioned a peripheral.
He's a baseball player.
associate of God.
He's a baseball player.
Gun to your head. What's his name?
Jack, don't put me on the spot. I can scroll up and look.
You could, but you can also trust that we already covered castles in the blue book.
Oh, I wasn't arguing it. I was laughing about it. Pat was arguing it.
I didn't even argue it because have you seen me fight that is refute? I didn't fight it. He might, there's a 99.9% chance he was right.
There's that 1% chance he's wrong.
There's a 100% chance that I'm right.
Comment
There's
below.
also a 100% chance that the two of you are up to shenanigans. This is a covert operation to get a square on the Dragon Tome bingo card that uses his shit. The two of you are all this kind of nonsense.
I wish it was, Jack. I wish it was.
No.
By this point, it's the center square almost.
It's the Paul Lynn of the Dragon Tome Hollywood
That's right.
Squares.
Let me throw some glitter all over this thing and get out of here.
But that's all. I just wanted to point out.
This might be the quickest one we've ever done with Jack, though.
Oh.
It's only been like 40 minutes.
A very reasonable length.
Yeah, this is like
15 minutes more than I signed on for, but okay. Well then, that's it for this edition of the Dragon's Tome. Thank you for joining us. We we do this every week, so come on back. Rob tells me to do this. I don't know why.
I just like you pointing at things.
Yes.
And then, yes, thank you one and all, and we will be back next week.
Make sure you drop a comment. Say hi to Jack.
He loves
Jack
it.
likes the
He
comments.
loves
He loves the comments.
He reads every single one.
No.
There's like an automatic alert for when comments are, and Jack is the first one there.
That automatic alert is the Rob sending a text to all of us in our group, and the two of them discuss. Sometimes it's like, I don't remember anyone talking
Don't let him fool you. Jack is on board. I think Jack will log in as me or Rob and leave comments.
Yeah, he changed his name officially to Dragon's Tome Rob on YouTube just to be strange. He's a strange boy.
Yes. GTR. Oh, wait. Anyway,
I love that band GTR.
Wasn't that a strip joint?
See, I made a joke that only Rob could possibly know, and even people who live in our area who are under the age
they were
30 would not possibly know.
And it was like a terrible strip joint nobody went to.
It was run by Hells Angels. It was amazing, the lore of it. But anyways.
It's burned down.
Yeah. Some of that lightning happened.
Burnt down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened. Okay, anyways, we better get out of here before we purge
the Hells Angels come after us for implying things.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Nothing was illegally done there. It's all good.